Hey everyone, this is Jackle over 95 here with more Knights Awakening! Boy, it took a bit. Yep.
Yeah, maybe it's gonna be good.
Yep, boy, was last chapter interesting. What did you say?
Oh, yeah.
I would say.
Yep, sorry, macaroni.
Well then,
After that chapter, I wanted some more peanut butter.
Yeah, I actually went out of my way to you know what I mentioned about the Nutella and peanut butter thing? I actually
did
made
that.
Yeah. And it actually did taste good. Although I recommend not eating a lot of it, just cut it like in half and you have yourself a snack.
Yeah. Embrace your inner knights.
You must eat the peanut butter.
Or is
Riella
it your inner office?
And Riella would have Nutella.
Yeah.
Which is why I love him, because he would actually go for that. I do that too.
Well, hopefully you guys enjoy this chapter too. So.
Alright.
We're on chapter 20 today.
There's not going to be any Nutella, is there?
No. We
Okay.
could add that in later on though, right, Jonesy?
Yeah.
I'll make a note of that.
I can see Riella walking in with a jar of Nutella and eating it like.
Jonesy, this series. It's going to be canon now.
Yeah, just Knights and Riel sitting on the table. Both of them have a jar, one of peanut butter, one of Nutella, and they kind of just don't. They don't. Yeah, they don't say anything. They don't say anything. They're just sitting there eating. They don't. They're just sitting there. That's the whole video right there. Just them for 5 minutes. 5 minutes just eating it.
Yeah, and they're literally using like a spoon.
Yep, they're using a spoon.
I gotta admit, this human food is quite tasty.
I told you.
Hey, that was not a bad Riel impression.
All right, I got approval from the master. Yay! All right. Yeah, we better get started here. We don't want to.
Yeah, let's not drag this any forward.
We don't want to leave our listeners bored.
Yes, let us.
Or hungry.
Let us do this, shall we?
Yes.
All right.
Okay, I'm ready to read. The day was spent catching Molly up as Mr. Edwards and Miss Sinclair took turns explaining much about NiGHTS to her. During the, I can't read that big word.
Conversations
and questions. I can read that other word. Receive calls from both Helen and Will. Apparently their parents were so traumatized by what happened with the talent show. I can read those two words.
Invasion incident.
That they wouldn't let the two young dreamers leave their homes. Molly understood well the I can read that word.
Terrified
parents were coming from, and Mr. Edwards and his wife told the children not to worry about it. They would be able to meet back in NiGHTS to
discuss things tonight.
Just take a breath. If you can't read a word, just sound it out slowly. Take your time. You did pretty well. You actually got traumatized on your first try. I realized how that sounded now. I realized. No, how you said traumatized, not that you got traumatized. My God.
Okay, who's next? Who's reading next?
Probably one of you two, because it's gonna be my character talking next.
I'll do it. Later that night, Mr. Edwards and Miss Sinclair invited Molly and August to dinner, and also invited Molly to spend the night so that they could help Molly get into the night dimension. Molly accepted the offer without hesitation. All four of them were currently sitting at the round dining table, while Dianella stood close by.
Fantastic as always, Clarice.
Complimented Edwards, to which his wife nodded with a smile before standing to take dishes to the kitchen nearby. He then continued,
Now we need to figure out how to bring Molly with us to NiGHTS tonight.
I'd really like to see what this NiGHTS you're telling me about so much.
Molly smiles. Ree, you take it. You take it, Ree.
Ree smiles, scooping some vegetables. Oh my goodness! Veggies awful plate was so full.
Vegetables still work.
Yep.
I'm gonna crowd veggies.
Here's your boy.
Okay. I want you to see it too.
Agreed,
August.
August, who sat beside her.
Okay, who's
I can do it.
That's me. That's
Okay.
me.
Go ahead.
I need narration.
Right. Miss Sinclair nodded as she returned to the room, picking up a few more dishes.
I'm unsure how we will accomplish this, though. For us, it's second nature to get there.
Where are we?
It's Edwards here. Mr. Edwards.
Yeah, I just lost where we were.
Right here.
Okay. Yes, indeed.
Added Mr. Edwards.
But for her, it will be like learning a second language.
Perhaps.
Muttered Diana. Head down in thought.
Being around dreamers as strong as yourselves, and with knights myself in such close proximity to Molly, that may be all she needs to find her way there. Of course, this is only a guess.
Whatever happens, you'll be with me. I know it.
Molly said as she smiled at her brother.
I can't guarantee that she will get there. But no matter if you do reach NiGHTS or not, I will be at your side. Yes.
The robotic jester gave a slight smile in return. I'll get the warm milk. See, Joe causing him to make a face. Mr. Edwards laughed, then stood from his spot at the table with a small stretch.
Molly, you may take the guest bedroom tonight. Dianella and you and Knights, meet us at the Dream Gate as soon as you can. I'm going up to bed.
Dianella nodded. Miss Sinclair, her task done, took Edward's hand as he passed her. The two turned back to look at their guests and bid them goodnight. With that, both headed off to bed. I suddenly turned to Scottish or slightly Irish. I think I was going Scottish.
Part of me is like girls.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
Go ahead.
Here I got. Dianella floated over to Molly, landing on his feet to stand beside her.
Are you ready?
As ready as I'll ever be. Even if I'm not able to get there, I'm just happy to know you're alive.
Aww. She turned to look at August.
And to learn just how special my foster son is. The metallic jester nodded.
We will leave as soon as you fall asleep.
Then I better be off to bed.
The woman stood from the table, hugging them both.
Good night.
Good night, Molly.
Aww.
Replied August.
Rest well, Molly.
Replied Dianella. He watched his sister walk down the hall and into her room.
Be ready, knights. You may again start changing against your will once we return to the night dimension.
August sighed.
Can you slow down a little bit?
We're
You see
here.
it?
Alright, or is it paused on your end? Is it stuck?
I guess it is stuck.
Hang on a sec.
I can't go that high right now.
So sorry, everyone. Took a bit longer than needed. But we're back.
Yep.
Anywho, ready to start reading?
Connection. Okay.
August sighed.
I guess I can't stop it forever, but at least with the Ivia, I may be able to change back.
I can help with the transformations to human.
The robotic jester offered.
Don't worry about your memories. I'm sure you will still have them.
August nodded.
Alright then, we should get moving.
Dianella shook his head.
Mm-mm. Not until Molly is asleep. I wish to be able to find her right away.
About 15 minutes later, Dianella, with August beside him, slowly floated into the guest's bedroom to check if Molly had fallen asleep.
Seeing that she indeed was fast asleep, Dianella carefully picked up August and quietly flew through the large dresser nearby.
It's Alice through the looking glass. It's Alice through the looking glass.
Now imagining Dianella in a dress.
Oh my god, and the nightmares are literally in Wonderland.
Dare. I've already got little pride as it is.
Does that mean that Riella is literally the Mad Hatter or something?
No, that would be Jackle.
No, I thought oh wait, and Claus is the Cheshire Cat.
Mm-hmm.
We should come up with ideas for that.
Riella, the Queen of Hearts?
No, I think that's why he's the King of Hearts.
Oh, that's silly.
Wait, does that make him the White Rabbit? No, wait, that's a little too much. Knights is kind of the Mad Hatter.
Riella could, if I think about it, Riella could be the Mad Hatter because Jackal would have to be the March Hare.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah, you're right.
I like to envision that. Anyways, and not talking about that.
Alright, I got it.
Story for another time.
They emerged into the night dimension from the floating crystal. The robotic jester turned his gaze to August in his arms, who was slowly starting to change.
Try to hold it back until we get to the dream gate.
He then lifted his head back up and looked around.
Molly?
Is Molly again?
Hello?
Oh, there we are. Lost her place for a second. They heard her voice call out from the darkness around them.
Xavier? Is that you? Where are you? Did I make it?
A small smile appeared on Dianella's face. He turned in the direction of where Molly's voice was coming from, reaching out one of his hands into the darkness.
Over here, Molly. We're on the path to the dream gate.
Okay, I see you. I'm coming over right now. Oh. Sorry, I'm coming right over. Bleh. Anyways, Dianella soon saw her and took her hand in his outstretched one.
I got you.
Instead of having the appearance of a child like Elliot and Clarice did upon entering the world of dreams, Molly only looked slightly younger, like an older teen or a very young adult. Speaking of appearances, the jester glanced down at Knight/August, his smile fading.
We better hurry. If August transforms here, the Nightmarans will sense it and be upon us in seconds.
Then let's not waste any time.
Molly replied. Here, you want to get this right?
I get this. Diana nodded I can't read that word. Bent down, letting Molly climb onto his back.
Hold on tight.
Small, I can read those other words.
Sleek protrusions.
Protrusion. Came out of his dojo's blade. The small boost inside them begin to glow. I can't read that word.
Levitated.
Levitated.
Levitated. Okay. So, okay, no.
Securing.
You can do it.
Securing.
Securing his hold on night/August. Oh, God. Activating the
Boosters.
Just to zoom out through the foggy landscape. Blue jet was trailing behind him from
I
the
thought for a
boosters.
second that you know, when I first looked, I thought that said Froggy Land. Froggy, wait up!
Orbit.
Alright.
We're not bringing Bead the cat into this.
Better not let Hannah knows about it because she's friends with the guy.
Alrighty. The rush of wind passed her face, making Molly feel giddy.
We're flying!
She exclaimed. Dianella grinned upon hearing his sister's laughter, going faster.
The darkness almost seemed endless, going on and on for all eternity, but suddenly a small bright light appeared ahead of them. Wait, is this like how it happens in the intros of the game?
Technically, because of Molly, they have to do it that way.
Alright. What's that?
The portal. Oh, I'm sorry. I jumped again.
Asked Molly, her laughter fading away.
The portal to the Dream Gate.
Diana called out.
We're almost there.
You ready? You ready, Ray?
Okay. 1,
2,
3.
Let's get moving.
Exclaimed Night August. They all heard an enormous boom. They shot through the light and suddenly found that Diana was flying over the Dream Gate. He circled around above the floating island as he reduced his speed to safely land. Sorry.
I got Elliot, Clarice, Will, Helen, and Owl, and some Nighttopians watched them as the metallic jester finally slowed down enough to land, gently floating down to stand on the stone walkway. Dianella bent down, setting August/Nights down on the ground and letting Molly climb down from his back.
So, this is the Dream Gate. It's very nice here.
Molly looks around. She points at the Nighttopians.
And what are they? Ooh, my dear, these are Nighttopians, the friendly and playful residents of Nightopia.
Owl. Oh, go ahead.
I got it. And so Owl.
Answered.
Answered.
Owl answered with a hoot as he flew over the hovering to hover in front of her.
I am Owl. What might your name be, young lady? Owl? Yeah, go ahead. Owl boy. Owl boy.
Owl boy. I got it.
Yes.
Owl, this is Molly Daniels, Xavier's little sister.
Elliot introduced, standing next to Molly. What?
What?
Exclaimed the three of them in unison. While Elliot, Clarice, and Molly explained, Dianella was still kneeling next to Night August.
We're safe now. Go ahead.
He reassured. Night August nodded.
All right.
In a small flash of light, the boy became fully Knights.
Your boy has evolved into Knights.
Dun 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 dun.
Congratulations, your boy August has evolved into Knights.
Yes.
But I want that to Rihanna.
I got Knights.
Okay.
Let's go.
Yep.
Clarice.
Welcome back, Knights.
cheer Clarice. Diana helped Knights up, and Will and Helen rushed over to hug their old friend.
Thanks, you too.
Knights gently hugged them back.
Good to see you, old friend.
Elliot gave the purple jester a pat on the back. Diana smiled and slowly floated back to give them space, knowing this was their time for reunion. He moved to levitate by the lake near the back of the area.
I got out of line.
Mm-hmm.
Molly spoke to Owl, the two getting along quite well, while the Helen and Will overwhelmed with joy, giving Knight another hug.
Will looked up at the jester. Who's Will, honestly?
That's Star or Cat.
What? Oh, whoops. Sorry about that. Sorry, folks. All right.
It's okay.
Hang on. Okay. Yeah. Who would have thought you were so close to us this whole time?
Okay, gotcha, sir. We were so worried about you.
Helen began to cry, tears of relief falling down her cheeks. Elliot smiled at the scene, proudly enjoying himself. Clara stands beside him, tears of happiness threatening to fall from her eyes.
There's no need to cry, Helen.
Knights comforted the two children in his arms.
I'm alright. I'm sorry about what I said before.
I know. You didn't mean it.
The poor girl finally broke down crying. The roller coaster of emotions from the past few days embedded in her falling tears. Will was instantly at her side, trying to calm her.
She's had a lot of stress these past few weeks.
The soft sound of violin began to flow around them, slowly calming Helen. Knights gave Helen's hand a comforting squeeze.
Well, we're together again, Helen. Things will be much better now.
Owl smiled.
He is right, visitor. Everyone is all right, and our friend is reunited with us again.
After a pause, his expression turned serious.
Unfortunately, now we need to find out what the Nightmares are planning.
We were hoping Xavier might have some clues as to what they're doing,
informed Clarice.
Where is he, anyway?
Asked Will, who now noticed the robotic jester's absence. Elliot pointed towards the other side of the large fountain.
I think he flew a little over that way.
Molly.
Owl turned his gaze to the new dreamer.
Will you accompany me?
She nodded.
Of course, Mr. Owl. Please. Owl is fine.
Mr. Owl.
Mr. Owl, how many licks does it take to get to the short center of a Tootsie Pop? Let's find out. A one, a two, a three. Three. How many licks does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop? The world may never know. Honestly, I think that'd be Knights who does that, because he can chomp that down easily.
Do you remember there was a different version of that commercial where there was a metallic skeleton and a dragon.
I don't remember that!
They were like computer generated ones, and all I remember is the dragon taking it in his long tongue and then just bursting it into flames and like throwing the stick back to the kid. Going, I
gotta look that up! But also what is a weird commercial where the Pop-Tart ones crazy good. Anywho.
Ready? I got it. Alrighty. Letting the rest of the group catch up with Knights, Owl and Molly started walking over to the lake. Floating over the edge of the water, Diana was practicing an invisible violin. Dragging your Molly.
Hi, Xavier.
Molly breathing.
How are you making that music?
I'll go get it. Dianella stopped playing, contemplating his sister's question. It had never occurred to him before.
To be honest, I don't really know. But I must sound terrible, don't I?
I got this one. Molly shook her head.
No, you sound really good. The robot seemed to perk up.
Really?
Ahem.
Cleared his throat.
I do not wish to be rude, but we need to save this conversation for a later time. Xavier, what do you know of Wiseman's plans? Diana looked down in thought.
Well, from what I do know, they're building a tower reaching high into the sky. They never told me exactly what it was for, or how it works, but I do know they need knights to power it for some reason.
He stopped for a moment.
The only one who seemed to hint anything about it to me was Jackle.
Jackal?
I can read that word.
Perhaps we could get more information from him.
Yes, but I think he might also know more about me.
Diana added.
Owl blinked.
Oh? What do you say, Xavier?
He gave me a playing card. He gave me a playing card, saying it would show me who I was.
The robotic jester answered them.
He also told me he saw Clarice help me before, back when my leg was injured, and said he'd keep it a secret.
Well, let's just say either Jackal was gonna backstab the guy later, or Jackal basically works mysterious. Jackal's just weird like that, okay? He's a weirdo.
But a lovable weirdo for that matter.
Jackal, you're not supposed to be in this part.
What? I'm just trying to make sure that people don't forget about me.
Don't worry.
Get your moment in the spotlight.
Okay, just let me know.
Trust me, he's a weirdo. Anyways, could he be a double agent, perhaps?
Asked Owl, more to himself than the others.
What did the card show you?
Asked Molly in curiosity. She haven't asked when she saw her brother's
reaction. Diana's eyes flashed. Are you okay?
Reed's dying!
Grab some water, girl! Grab some water!
I'm okay. You're just dying.
Okay, Diana's eyes flashed red for a moment, angry at the memory. He looked down.
Nothing.
His eyes faded back to blue.
All I saw was my faint reflection.
A familiar cackling was suddenly heard.
You looked at the wrong side, doofus.
Well, that's just mean.
Well, duh, the nightmares. What do you expect? Anyways, get on with the story.
Diana looked up, faint annoyance lacing his voice.
I know I didn't look at the wrong side, Jackal.
I flew between the two unusual beings.
Please, jesters, no fight here. No fights here.
Wow, old timer. Wow, Gramps. You really are trying hard.
Jackal, ignoring Owl, merely grinned his wide grin back down at Dianella from his spot in the air above the three.
But you did, silly. You didn't peel the cover off the card. It covered the side you were supposed to look at. So it didn't look that special to anyone else.
Yes, this was inspired by Looney Tunes back in action.
What?
Ah!
Oh,
I didn't
okay.
know about
Yep.
that!
Jackle's
Okay.
a movie buff.
It's also, of course, wallpaper, if you ask me.
Alrighty.
What?
Hearing the cackling, the other dreamers, the Nighttopians and Knights made their way over to see what was happening.
I got this one. Nice. Okay, Jackal is still grinning, hold out his hand and lets the pin drop out of it into the ground in front of Diana. The robot, I can't see it. I can read that.
Melt.
What?
Nelt.
Melt. Like
Like-
Neil
No.
down.
Knelt low to pick it up, finding it to be the. I can read that one.
Crumpled.
Crumpled playing card he has thrown away in his meltdown earlier.
You should know better than the litter. Tisk tisk. You gotta respect the environment, bro.
Oh, great, he's going gangster on us.
No, he's going Captain Planet.
Always recycle kitties!
Still looking at the ruined card, Dianella indeed saw there was a thin silver sliver of something beginning to peel off one of the damaged corners of the card. Carefully, he smoothed the card out as best he could, then tentatively peeled away the thin cover from it. Jackal cheered.
See? That wasn't so hard, was it? Now don't throw away the thin part. That's the part you want. Oh, and hi, Knights!
I gave him more of a cheery, childish attitude right there. He says, hi, Knights!
You're perfect, you're hired.
Knights only nodded his head to the wild card of a jester with a small wave.
Dinella inspects the delicate-looking film in his metallic clawed hands.
What do I do with it?
Look at it! Jeez! And hold it up to the light. Jeez, do I have to give the instructions like the old bird there? Hey, I took offense.
Jackal rolled his eyes.
Yeah, whatever.
Jackal rolled his eyes as if this was comic knowledge.
God, why am I making Jackal this comedic here?
I
know I'm
have no
supposed to make
idea.
him. I know he's supposed to be taken a little serious, but I'm just making him kind of childish and goofy.
You
gotta how do you guys feel about that?
when you can.
How do you guys feel about that?
It's actually cool.
It's fun.
Isn't he supposed to be that?
Yes.
Anywho,
I got Dianella did as he was told. Molly could have sworn she saw his faint hand tremble as he held the film up in the light of one of the nearby lamps.
this time he saw something a lot different. A boy who looked about to be around 13 years old, with brown skin, black hair, and purple eyes, with staring back at him.
That's you.
Other Jackal in a unusually tame voice.
Shocked Dinella dropped the film, stumbling backwards. Knights quickly grabbed hold of him before he fell back into the lake.
Xavier, are you alright?
He
He
looked at his friend in worry.
Void.
Dianella rubbed his head.
I don't know.
Truthfully, he didn't know what to think. Who's Helen?
Was that really you?
Asked Helen. Fragments of a rather vivid memory surfaced in Dinella's mind.
Yes. And I remember more. Somehow, Wiseman was able to kidnap me from the real world.
Dun, dun, dun. Alan looks startled by this.
That's impossible. How could he accomplish such a thing?
I might tell you how.
Jackal
Yeah.
chuckled. floating around them in a teasing manner.
But then again, I might not. You mad, bro?
Whose side are you on, Jackal?
asked Elliot, thoroughly confused by the mad jester.
Jackal shrugged, seen by his shifting cape and lifted gloves.
Nobody's.
And originally there was an author's note that said, no, not the Kingdom Hearts ones.
Thank you, because I know for a fact this would be a chain of memories.
It was actually spelled like that before I fixed it.
Thank you. Otherwise, someone would have made that connection. Anyways.
So, are you evil or not?
Clarice inquired.
I'm not evil.
Jackal came a bit closer, his grin almost impossibly wide.
I'm just crazy!
Hopefully a good crazy.
Added Will.
Sorry if I got you guys a jump scare.
Oh, that was so awesome. I want to hear that again later. Oh my god. I can actually imagine this guy animated right now. I'm just staring at the space, and every time you talk like him, I can see him. It's crazy.
Well, yeah, I mean, you gotta get the character down, honestly. I have a knack for playing crazy characters.
You're pretty good. I think I'm...
Here, do you want to get this, Ray?
Okay. I gave a loud hoot to get everybody's attention.
Please, we are getting off subject. Ooh.
He sighed, clearing his throat, then faced the mad jester.
Jackal, if you may, tell us what Wiseman is planning.
Jackal reclined in the air, twirling a card between his fingers.
Well, that answer has quite the story behind it. Firstly, you.
He pointed at Dinella.
How are you able to pass between this and the waking world? Even ever thought about that?
Truthfully, I don't know.
Answered Dinella, surprised he himself hadn't wondered about that before.
All I know is that I've had this power since I can remember. Or rather, remembered before finding out I was a human.
What about that blue stone in your chest?
Asked Elliot.
When you reflected Knight's true form, it pulsed with a blue light.
Jackal chuckled.
There you go. Now for a little story.
Jackal pulled out a second card and held the two cards in such a way to make it look like he was reading a book.
Oh my god, why am I picturing Jackal holding two cards, two big cards, and he's holding it like it's a book. And he's got like reading glasses. There's like a little lamp by him that's floating.
I almost made him lift his hand up to move invisible spectacles, but I decided not to do that.
Oh my god, I actually want to see that as a thing. I'm
to read
sorry.
a story.
Alright. I gotta get my Undertale reference in this. Once upon a time, long ago, Wiseman found a gem with a mysterious power, with the ability to cross between worlds. With this magical stone, he went to the real world and kidnapped the dreamer that made him mad.
As he spoke, the wild jester's voice became unusually calm again.
The dreamer had enraged him because the little human was leading other visitors into retaliation against Wiseman's invasion of Nightopia. As punishment, Wiseman used his awesome powers to transform the young visitor into a loyal servant to use as he pleased. How's that reading thus far?
You guys okay?
Yeah.
You did too.
Awesome sauce.
You want me to get this one?
Yeah.
Unbelievable to remain in the air. Diana was on his knees, holding his head as he remembered flame. Okay, read that word.
Flashes.
Flashes, bits of
Pieces.
pieces of the
Ordeal.
Clarice and Molly did their best to comfort him.
Elliot, Will, Owl, and Knights look rather pale as Jackal continued his tale.
But before Wiseman could use his new puppet and make him destroy what he once was so determined to protect, something happened. That mysterious stone embedded itself inside the puppet's chest, restoring his free will, emotions, and personality. But due to the trauma, he couldn't remember anything from before.
And just like that, Jackal was back to normal and grinning again.
After that,
Shrugging.
he just up and disappeared. At least till he showed up again, and still without memories. Riella, of course, knew this little fact when they first meet, and took it to his advantage, like the sly fox he is, or snaky in his way. But you know, choose your sly animal either way. Hope you like Storytime with Jackle, everyone. Hope to read you all again.
Alrighty, there was silence for a long time, save for the waterfall in the distance and the slight occasional breeze. The Nightopians were also unusually quiet. Finally, Owl spoke.
I am guessing that Wiseman needs the stone back.
Jackal's smile became strained.
Well, he would like it back, but...
But what?
Asked Clarice. Clarice.
I can't help it, you guys!
No, don't worry about it.
You want to take this part, Ree?
Yeah, I've been quiet for a while. Jacket. Okay, I got Jackal a jacket.
He was a straight jacket at one point.
Jackal jacket.
Yay!
I'll take one of those Jackal jackets. Jackal. I can't read that.
Actually.
Someone else can read it.
Lift a bit.
No, Ray's got it. Ray's got it.
Okay.
It's annoying, as if someone told a bad joke.
Wiseman has figured out a way to create his own artificial stone.
He said, making quotation marks with his fingers.
Don't ask me exactly how it works, but it seemed he figured out what the Shard of Nights is, and how the little thing got there. He got quite mad when he put that little puzzle together. Let me tell you. And somehow, knowing this, and using his metal head, for more than just odd decoration, he thought of a device that he built into the tower. With it, and Knights in it, he will be able to open a large portal to the waking world, or a bunch of small portals. Who knows? So it's more of a large-scale version of Dianella's power.
Oh my gosh, it's like being at a mix with Sun and Moon spot!
Silence again.
What?
Oh, yes.
Yeah?
They're trying to start an invasion?
No toy.
Asked Elliot in thought.
This practically was kind of in the original Knights game, and kind of was gonna be in. This was also Journey of Dreams, so yeah, this is actually in the plot point. Had a feeling this would be a plot point in here somewhere. Just didn't think it'd come up this point.
Go, Ray, go.
Clarice looks horrified.
Oh my god.
Okay. I got this one. Against Wiseman and all the nightmares, humanity won't stand a chance.
Cried Helen.
It was hard enough just fighting them one at a time.
Exclaimed Will.
Go, Ray,
Next to a speechless Molly and Diana, Will growled, his eyes swollen and red skin, realizing what he has almost done.
Wiseman will pay.
Knight seemed equally horrified and angered.
We can't let him go through with this!
Jackal, seemingly pleased with himself, turned away with a wave.
Good luck! I'm not helping anymore now. Nope. No more hints from old Jackie boy. I'm gonna sit back, grab some popcorn, and watch how this plays out.
A bit reluctantly, Owl called out as the insane jester flew off.
Thank you for your help, Jackal. Huh, for a nutcase, he really was helpful.
Thank you!
How in the bloody hell did he hear me from up there?
How does he do that?
I don't know, I just do it anyways. Anyways, back to your so-called story.
Yeah, quit breaking the fourth wall. Go sit over there with Deadpool.
Okay.
Henriella.
I'm still here.
Dianella slowly got up to his feet, turning to Knights.
I need to speak to Riella. There's something I need to do. Will you help me, Knights?
The purple jester, though a little confused, nodded.
Don't worry, I got your back.
He turned to look at the dreamers with a smirk.
Let's duelize.
Oh, finally!
Alright, you can't really duelize when the main person who does it is kind of poof.
The dreamers, also willing to help, nodded back, while Molly looked puzzled. Knights put his hands out for Ellie and Clarence, who put their hands on his. Suddenly, in a flash of light, two knights floated side by side where the three once stood. Oh my gosh!
Molly explains in surprise.
Let's get it.
I've got it! Molly.
Alright.
Diana I can read that word.
Hesitated.
Wondering if he had the same power as the jester. He slowly holds his hands out to Will and Helen. Two each takes a hand. Next thing everyone knows, two Dianas float in their place. Both robots looked at themselves in surprise.
The dualization helped Diana to calm down from earlier. One Diana looked at Molly.
Sorry. Sorry about that.
Okay.
Stay here with Owl and protect him for us. We will be back soon.
I got still a bit shocked at what just happened. She merely nodded.
Okay, I will. One of her brothers double hooked her gently, then they took off.
Time to wake up, Riella.
Time to face some reality!
It's time to do a duel!
Not like that!
The two knights flew after him.
Let's
do
it!
I had to get that knights in there because, they're both talking.
Do it!
Anyways, they soon reached Nightmare Castle. Dianella and Will flew in, searching for Riella, with Knights and Clarice following. Meanwhile, Dianella and Helen waited outside as a lookout, and Knights and Elliot waited back in the woods nearby as backup, just in case.
Who wants to get this?
I'll take this part.
I can get this one.
Oh, Ree, go ahead.
Go. Diana, Will, Knight, and Clarice slowly moved through the corridors as they got deeper inside, carefully to not let anyone see them. Finally, they came across Riella, who was in his corridors. The nightmare in general had his back to them, looking over plans to invade the Rockin' World. Ah! Diana slapped Will. time for night fairies to stay outside and not I can read that.
Not interfere.
Interfere unless needed.
Hey
guys, guess what?
What?
Okay. I actually went that whole line. Only one road I needed help with.
That's good. That's good. Of course,
God.
I'm so nervous about this next part. I hope it goes well.
Quick as lightning, Dianella/Will grabs Riella and pins him to the wall hard. Almost an echo of what Riella did to Dianella, but the robot wasn't aiming to beat the Red Jester. The impact knocked the wind out of Riella.
Hello, Riella.
Dianella uttered.
It took a moment. It took Riella a moment to regain his bearings. He was a little surprised that the robot was still alive, but hid it well. He wasn't the Nightmarian general for nothing.
Hello, yourself, traitor.
The dual-eyed jester glared at Riella.
What do you have to gain from invading the waking world?
Yeah, Jackle.
Like I have to answer to you.
How can you enjoy being Wiseman's lapdog?
Dianella/Will's grip on Riella tightened slightly.
So what, does he have him by the collar or something?
Yeah.
I just said that he grabbed him. I don't know.
I like to think that it is, so it's kind of similar to how Riella had Knights pinned against the door or something.
Probably, like, onto his collar and part of his vest, I would say.
Alright.
Either that or it's slightly over its throat. It's somehow able to keep Riella from getting out of his grip.
Alright. Huh, guess that's what happened to Knights and why you didn't move.
Well, then again, if the birds can grab him without touching him, I don't know what that means for Riella.
Anywho.
You say you're such a powerful nightmare in general. You lose to inferior humans and your pathetic twin at the drop of a hat. One of these days, Wiseman will look at you and say, what was it? Your usefulness has ended? Just like so many of his so-called important creations. I should probably just put you out of your misery now.
Yeah, only smoked. I don't know.
Smirked. He was smirking. Your threat.
Okay, yeah, you smoking.
Grounds. Okay, before anyone talked. Now, before I was so rudely interrupted, let me read my lines.
Go.
Your threat holds little grounds. While I may have failed, I make up for it in unending loyalty to Master Wiseman, unlike you or that traitorous knight.
As are all true Nightmarans. And I almost was.
Dianella replied.
Loyal puppets. Knights isn't a traitor. He just gained the will, the courage to be who he wanted to be, unlike you.
The dual-eyed jester chuckled sadly.
You're so good at tricking everyone that you even trick yourself.
Oh, get it, Ray. Get it.
I'm not a dog! I can do it! So, we also a flash.
Within
Within the cat
pupils.
Oh no! I just symbols in Diana's eyes as he released Riella, who plunged into the floor, holding his neck in his one hand.
I will not kill you, Riella.
He uttered softly.
Because, deep down, I still consider you my friend.
You're a fool. Thinking friends and friendship are the answer to everything. Well, have you not seen Friendship is Magic, man? It truly is something like that.
You just interrupted Riella, dude.
Unfortunately, we don't get cable.
What you say doesn't prove anything. Knights has been and always will be a mistake. Wiseman only made one jester that day, but the jester split into two beings. One being the flaws to dispose of, and the other the resulting perfection. That is why knights caved in and fled to the NiGHTOpians like a weakling.
He got to his feet glaring at his uninvited guest.
And it was really rude that you came in without even answering.
Yeah, knock!
Knock first before you enter. Jeez.
There's this new thing. There's this new thing. It's called knocking.
There's a thing called knocking.
Okay. We can't interrupt Riel anymore. This is his time.
Yes, thank you. I am not tricking myself, boy. I know who I am. I know my purpose. I am Wiseman's most important and most loyal servant. I'm stronger than Knight, and I will not be swayed by your pathetic words. I won't let others stand in my way. Sorry, something's got in my throat.
Riella.
And sorry, okay?
I guess yeah.
Giving me this much dialogue happens at times. Also, Jackle. Also, damn it, Jackle.
What? What? That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, but you're causing me to have my lines screwed over.
Well, you interrupted yourself there, Riella.
Oh, shut up.
Actually, I think Dianella hit him harder than we thought.
Of course.
Yes.
That has to be the point. Anyways. And I won't become like that mistake. That shouldn't have existed. As for your friendship,
Yeah.
Go.
Diana. Yeah.
I like to think that was bits of blood.
Yeah, that could
Go.
be.
Go.
Go ahead.
Okay, fine, I read. Diana looks down at his feet, then looks back up at Riella.
It's better than what you have. You are merely a coward hiding in his master's shadow. A shell of a living being held together with lies.
I am not a coward.
Shadow. You go.
Okay. Shouted Riella, moving a challenging step forward.
Guys, Riella's
I got this.
Dino only blink.
Only
Shouted, moving a challenge, stepping forward.
Where are we now? I heard like 2 different lines.
Right here, right. Dino only blinked.
Shouting is one of the signs of denial, as well as anger.
Okay, I got this one. Riella growled in frustration. Oh my god,
Frustration.
frustration at the idiot before him. His eyes waited with
Flashing dangerously.
Flashing dangerously.
I am not a coward.
I can read that wrong.
Clenches.
Correct. Francis a fist in front of him. Completely filled up.
I will not have you or anyone else tell me otherwise. Want me to not lie for you? Well, you imbecilic freak. I'll tell you something truthful. I came up with the idea to turn you into one of Master Wiseman's minions. I brought about the NiGHTS captures to drain every last drop of idia from any dreamer that dared to come here. I even created the tower that will finally give us a victory over the dreamers and NiGHTOpians once and for all. All of it was my work!
Was this invasion your plan as well?
Asked Diana.
He got that out of his system. Note to self, don't trigger Riella.
Riella seemed calmer now. but it seemed hard for him to completely regain his composure.
It is officially Wiseman's plan.
That was a long part. I got it.
Yeah. Take it, Jonesy.
Riella knew better than to attack Dianella, for he knew he couldn't win like this. The room was too small, and unlike last time, he wouldn't be able to catch the robot by surprise. Not yet. Not to mention the robot's superior strength, along with the humans with him, and the dualized pair he caught a glimpse out of the room.
Oh, so he did know.
Yeah. The robot's injuries have already healed from their previous meeting. No, it would be foolish to attack now. Whew.
I got this one.
Yeah.
Diana slash Will smoked after a thought of silence between the two.
Why is it that we don't believe anything you say?
You think I care?
Yeah, Snap quickly lost in his composure again.
Is that a trick question?
Asked. Will's voice asked.
Riella wished for nothing more than to tear the smug metal dualizer jester apart. This guy was worse than Knights.
Your plan.
Will smirked through Diana with his next words.
If it is yours, it's probably just as lame as all your other plans you have made. Besides, why do you want such useless resources as dreams and Idia? You can't do anything with them.
Oh!
We got all the hits.
Okay. Ria seems to I can read that out.
Relax. Relax,
Relax?
just relax.
Okay. Relax and smile.
That's what you think. Will piped up again.
Sounds like a brain fart of a plan, in my opinion. And that makes you sound like more of an idiot than us.
Oh, you're not an idiot.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Okay, I
Either
got this
that
one.
or it's just the story having its dialogue, making it seem like I'm incompetent. Yes, I'm talking about you fools out there.
Hey, I did my best.
I got it. The general turns his back to the two, concealing his growing anger at the insult.
Coming from you, don't make me laugh. Something finally occurs to the dualized pair. Will looked at the red jester in confusion.
By the way, if you're so powerful, why are you not trying to kick me out?
I got this one. Ria chuckled in his angle, finally disappearing.
Dissipating. Foolish boys. You should know better than to antagonate a beehive. The dualized pair blinked in confusion.
Come again?
Outside, Darnella, Helen, widening her eyes, spotted nightmares coming at them fast from several directions. Oh god, that's not good.
Guys, it's a trap!
It's a trap! Sorry, Admiral Akbar had to come into the scene.
It's okay.
Ria smiled.
You think I'm so stupid as to let my guard down in my own castle?
Isn't it your dad's castle?
This is my part of the
It's
castle.
the insurance. It's in Wiseman's last will and testament. If I die, this castle goes to reality.
Until I come back again.
Oh, that's true.
Anywho, anyone else can read this?
Diana Will said nothing as the pair retreated, Knights and Clarice following just behind them from the doorway. Nightmare started to chase them down the halls. Diana Will turned around, letting Knights and Clarice fly past, and shooting small lasers out of the ends of his jester hat, aimed at the pursuing Nightmarens.
Yeah, he needed a weapon, so.
That's kind of cool.
Jesters with get laser beams on their heads.
Anywho!
I got this one. Outside, Diana/Helen looked around, seeing the outnumbering. I can't read that
Amount?
one.
Yeah, you got it.
Outnumbering.
Outnumbering. I did got that, but the other one,
I'm out.
amount of nightmare closing in.
You're
Wait, that's me. Sorry, guys. Night. Elliot, please. Well,
Danielle spoke to her.
What do you think could have happened to them, Helen?
Helen had no time to answer as the duo dodged one Nightmare's attack, then blocked two more with his arms.
Helen?
they better get healed soon. Wherever they are.
She finally said, outside, NiGHTS had somehow found a different exit after being separated from Diana Will in their attempt to leave the castle, reuniting with Knights Elliot just before the two were ambushed by claws.
Ow! It hurt.
NiGHTS sported a deep gash in one arm while Knights Elliot was trying to draw away the cat Nightmare's attention.
Hey, Fleabag, over here!
Elliot's voice shouted, Knights picking a rock at the villain's back. Claws let out a roar of anger, springing after the other dualized pair through the trees.
Miss me, now you gotta kiss me.
Diana and Helen finally spotted their friends, made their way over to help fight off their attackers together.
I got it. Diana Will, in the meantime, had just gotten out of Nightmare Castle. Having come out somewhat farther off from the commotion, the pair looked back for one brief moment.
One day, Riala, you will see the truth.
Other Diana.
Will sighed.
Sorry. I always wanted to smart off at the guy, ever since he did what he did. I probably didn't help with what you were trying to do.
Diana shook their dualized head.
I did what I came to do. Now all we can do is wait and hope it works.
Will was confused by this, but said nothing more as the pair flew off to find their friends. The other three dualized heroes were proving to be more than a match for Claws. He growled at the dualized trio.
Outnumbered, no fun at all.
Diana, Helen stood in front of NiGHTS protectively.
Ree, you wanted this one?
I got this. If you know what's good for you, you will retreat.
You want Alexa
smug forever.
There we go. Claws uttered. With that, he retreated. With the big Nightmare gone, the smaller Nightmareans jumped back into the fight. They stayed back for fear of being hit by the giant cat's claws.
Diana, Helen looked back at NiGHTS as they and Knights Elliot kept their enemies at bay.
You alright?
Came Helen's voice.
We're fine.
We're fine.
The dualized pair nodded in reassurance.
It isn't too
It
deep.
isn't too deep.
Who could hang me? Well, we better meet back up with Will and get out of here.
Elliot's voice said.
Claire's voice spoke up.
We did get a little information from Riala. Knights can probably explain more later. Let's go before more show up.
Knight's not in agreement.
I would rather not get more than a torn sleeve.
Aw, man, and that's a really nice outfit, too.
I know, I just got it on sale!
The three quickly disengaged from their attackers and flew off, meeting up with the dualized Will on the way back to Nightopia. For a barely thought-out plan, it had gone better than expected, and that worried them all.
Oh, wow.
Dun, dun, dun.
End scene!
Wow.
Yeah!
It actually went better than I thought it would.
It
Oh my
did.
God. Riella part. Oh, I was so worried about that Riella part because before it, oh my gosh, I made it such a mess when I first wrote it.
But now, your thoughts?
Oh, that was amazingly done. Woo! You guys did it so good. I loved it.
And the way I was portraying Riella's character in that?
Yes, yes. I'm going to go back and listen to that later.
And what about with Jackal?
Oh my god, you did beautifully.
I think
Every time you use that voice, I swear I saw Jackal talking in my imagination. I could literally see him talking and moving and Yahoo!
Yahoo!
Yeah! Jackal, we gotta hang out sometime, bro.
Just humor me.
Oh, that'll be fun.
Humor me, Jackal. Say, who took all the Cheerios?
Rihanna did.
No, I didn't.
Boys, don't make me get Wiseman again.
No!
Oh, that was chapter 20.
Yes. Hopefully you guys found this fun, cause I thought this was a fun chapter.
It was a fast read.
Seriously, the Jackal and Riella parts were definitely my favorite.
You were a beast.
Oh, and then, ooh, all the good hits there. She's like,
I think
ooh, come back.
And Ree, you actually did pretty well. I mean, there were a couple hiccups, but you did pretty well too.
I know, I'm so proud of myself. I didn't really stutter that much.
Yeah, let's give a round of applause to Ree here.
Oh my god, thank you.
I think
That's
when I made Jackal do the crazy part, I cannot believe you guys actually liked that part.
Oh, you did it
It's so fun. It's fun.
Oh man.
You're just so happy.
And also,
Even when he was talking about something so sad.
yeah. And Jekyll's
He could
storytelling.
Yeah, just, and no, he actually has to have spectacles. Really big Ben Franklin style ones.
Okay,
Yeah, he
I'll
just-
remember that
he
next time he
felt-
does story time.
He pulls it out from underneath his coat, his cloak, as if he had pockets. Puts it on. And
The cards are floating in place. They actually just sit there as if the two cards are connected, so he can do that. And everyone's like, "How is he doing that?"
Magic. That's what.
Magic.
Imagination. Wait, no, that's for intangible stuff.
Oh, and what about reality scenes?
Oh,
Awesome.
I ate all my popcorn in anticipation. It was too awesome.
I didn't have any popcorn.
It's okay. Maybe next time you should get some popcorn.
Yeah, because you're going to be doing this.
Oh yeah, we can't really eat when we're doing this, otherwise you'll hear the crunching during Riella's parts and Riella will get very annoyed.
Of course he would.
It's like
about that
he's doing a
activity.
scene and suddenly you hear crunch, 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 crunch. Excuse me!
Okay, someone has to draw that. So,
I'm trying to do my lines here.
well, we're not reading the chapter right now, so we can interrupt you.
Why do I put up with
No,
that?
I'm reading.
Oh, goodness.
But anywho, yeah, hopefully you all enjoyed this chapter.
And our weird bantering before and after and in the middle.
Yep. But
Yeah, we're only halfway done. We're in midpoint, guys.
Midpoint of first half.
It feels
Oh,
like
wow.
it's
Should
almost
we get
over.
cake or something?
I feel like it's almost over when in actuality there's only 13 chapters left.
It's up and down and up and down and up.
It's a roller coaster, guys. And not the night coaster.
Roller coasters.
And even when we get to the end of this story, it's not the end.
It's as one golden Toa used to say, ends are merely beginnings waiting to be born.
Ooh, that's
well then, we'll see you all later.
Yeah.
See you all next chapter, everyone.
Hasta la vista.
Also, I better get Rios and Nutella because I feels as though he was getting annoyed with this.
It's only fair.
Yeah. Wait, and I gotta get Jackal some jam. Unless he already took it.
He probably did.
And
He
what's
probably
that
took
thing?
mine too.
Yeah.
Hey, who took all the jelly? Bye bye.
I make him sound like a hyena there. Okay,